As I briefly introduced this idea in the last video, Comey is an important aspect of scoring a game of Go. Before I talk about what Comey is and how it plays a role in scoring a game, I will first explain why Comey is necessary. In a standard game of Go, the player with the black stones starts the game and is the first to play. Playing first gives black an advantage over white. Historically, before the idea of Comey was introduced into Go, it was statistically likelier to win when playing as black. So, in the 1930s, a system was introduced to compensate for black's advantage, now known as Comey. So, what is Comey? Comey is the set value of points added to the total points gained by the player using white. The perfect value of Comey is around 5 to 7 points. However, due to the complexity of Go, this value is still debated even to this day. This is why Go associations and tournaments around the world use different values of Comey. For example, the Chinese and the American Go associations both use a Comey value of 7.5 points, while the Korean and the Japanese Go associations use 6.5. It is important to note that Comey values are generally set to 0.5 or half a decimal point to avoid G-Go, which is also known as draw. However, some places in the world, like New Zealand, use a Comey value of 7 points. There are several reasons for these differences, but it is mostly due to the different methods of scoring, namely area scoring and territory scoring. Now that we know what Comey is, we can talk about how it is applied to scoring a game of Go. As we discussed in the last video of the series, the player wins the game by gaining more points than their opponent. The number of points a player has gained can either be 1, their territory, or 2, their area, which is the number of stones and their territory that they have gained. The specific way that Comey is counted varies slightly by the scoring methods. In territory scoring, the exact value of Comey is added to white's score in the end of the game, while in area scoring, half of the Comey value is added to white's score. At the end of a game, when the score of both players are counted and Comey is added to white's score, the player with the higher score wins the game. Details of how this calculation is made will be covered in the next couple of videos. And that's the basics of Comey. In the next video, I will discuss the two standard methods of scoring a game of Go: area scoring and territory scoring. Personally, I recommend beginners to use area scoring, so be sure to check out that video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and as always, thank you for your support, and I'll see you next time.